All right, he's a man of God, so I probably think Bob Vander Plaats probably doesn't like the description of be calling himself a kingmaker, but that's what they call him in Iowa because his anointing a candidate oftentimes leads to that candidate winning Iowa. It worked for Rick Santorum 4 years ago. It worked for Mike Huckabee 4 years prior to that, and Ted Cruz is hoping it works for him this go-round. He's in a fight of his life against Donald Trump in caucus voters' minds, just a few days away. The back and forth on that. Bob Vander Plaats joining me right now, the family leader, also the Cruz for President National Co-Chair. Bob, good to have you.
Always good to be with you, Neil.
Thank you for coming. Now, obviously, you know, a candidate scorned is a candidate angry. A billionaire candidate scorned is very, very angry. He is now saying of you, and I know you have responded to this in other venues, why doesn't phony Bob Vander Plaats tell his followers all the time he asks for him and his family to stay at my hotels, didn't like paying? You say what?
Why doesn't Donald Trump come clean and say all the times he's invited me to be there and make sure that I stay at his hotel so he can lavish his friendship on me? But what he's not used to, Neil, he's used to giving all these politicians money and they do exactly what he tells them to do. Hillary Clinton even goes to his third wedding. But I don't give him my endorsements. All of a sudden the friendship has got strings attached. But I told Donald Trump yesterday, and I still in there, still a friend of his. My friendship is not phony, but he's still not getting my endorsement.
All right. Well, there was somebody who said that if you obviously were being paid or wined and dined to fill a deed, that you didn't fill the deed, but he still goes back and forth at you and questions whether you're an honest guy. You had said that Trump's friendship and generosity, and elaborated on here, definitely comes with strings. Did you know that prior to making your mind up and supporting Ted Cruz?
No, I mean, we had a fair and level playing field before I went out and endorsed Ted Cruz. Now, with Donald Trump, he has a history of this. I mean, ask Chuck Todd of NBC News, ask Megyn Kelly now with Fox News, ask Frank Luntz, your favorite pollster, what happens there, and even ask the people of Iowa. When Donald Trump slipped in the polls in Iowa and Ted Cruz overtook him, what was his first comment? His first comment was, are the people of Iowa stupid? So if you're not with Donald Trump, he is definitely against you, and Neil, that leads to a real judgment and discernment issue about being president of the United States.
Still, are you surprised as a leader, you wouldn't see yourself this way, within the evangelical community, that Jerry Falwell Jr. is backing Donald Trump, Sarah Palin, very popular with evangelical voters in your fine state, supporting Donald Trump, and that as polls stand now, and that could change, as you remind me, he could win Iowa with all that evangelical vote. What do you think of that?
Well, first of all, I don't think he's going to win Iowa, but yeah, there's no doubt it's a confusion. Because when you take a look at Donald Trump's record, and you'll know them by their fruit, he's Planned Parenthood's Person of the Republican of the Year in 2015. He believes the court has settled the marriage issue, so he's not going to take a stand on marriage. You're really questioning what kind of Supreme Court justices he's going to appoint. Religious liberty is up for grabs. What Donald Trump has proven over and over and over again, this is all about Donald Trump.
Well, it must
and the
be
reality
working.
TV show,
right, it must be working because
yeah,
I know polls are fleeting, but he could take Iowa if he does. If he does, I know a leap, and you don't see it happening. Ted Cruz has said that he does that with New Hampshire. He might just be unstoppable. What do you think?
Well, there's no doubt that Iowa is going to be the watershed moment for Donald Trump. If Donald Trump can come out of Iowa as a victor, he is going to be very hard to stop. I'm sure Cruz will still run a very hard campaign, and he'll try to win it, but it's going to become a lot more difficult. But I believe in Iowa we can stop him. I think Iowans are wising up. Yesterday was a bad day for Donald Trump. He lost the battle in the Twitter world with me and having the Des Moines Register back me up and the New York Times back me up. But then skipping the debate. He is skipping the final interview before the Iowa caucuses. And the people of Iowa, I know they are going to penalize him. They're going to hold him accountable for that. And I think what you're doing is you're seeing a real perspective of who Donald Trump is. And I think the people of Iowa say he's not going to be our president.
Even though he's shown up at every other major debate.
Well, what it is, I mean, here's the deal is that he's not going to show up at the final interview because he doesn't like a person. Here's this tough Donald Trump who's now wimping out because of Megyn Kelly. And you're telling me you're going to stand up to Putin, or you're going to stand up for our Second Amendment right, or a nuclear Iran, or anything like that? Are you kidding me? This is Donald Trump being Donald Trump. And we saw this when he said,
you
I don't
could
need to ask
support him.
God.
You could support him if you were the nominee.
I tell you what, after yesterday, it's going to be a lot more difficult than that, Neil.
Really?
Donald Trump's
whoa. He becomes the nominee. You, Bob Vander Plaats, would think twice about supporting him.
I would definitely think twice about it. And there's a lot of supporters.
What would you do? Would you support
twice.
Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders over him, or just sit it out?
I think what we need to see in Donald Trump is a spark of humility, even a little bit of humility, that he believes this country comes first, not Donald Trump comes first.
All right.
And that you just don't mess with people because they don't agree with you.
All right, Bob Vander Plaats, thanks. Always good seeing the family leader, Cruz for president, national co-chair, very, very influential in these parts, a lot of parts.